Captain America: The First Avenger is directed by Joe Johnston and it stars Chris Evans, Tommy Lee Jones, Hugo Weaving, Haley Atwell, Sebastian Stan, Dominic Cooper, and Toby Jones. It had a budget of $140 million and it grossed $370.6 million worldwide. It is the fifth MCU film and the last film before the Avengers film. The story goes during the World War II, Steve Rogers wants to take part of the military. Because of his small stature and physical difficulties, he is unable to enlist into the military program. But with the help of the Dr. Albert Erskine, he's able to be a part of the military and take it into a secret initiative, which makes him a super soldier and ultimately the Captain America mantle. Joining forces with his best friend Bucky Barnes and Lieutenant Peggy Carter, Captain America must lead the fight against a Nazi-backed organization called Hydra, which is headed by Red Skull. The film draws inspiration from Indiana Jones and the Rocketeer. The reason why this is because Joe Johnston was part of the crew of Indiana Jones, and also he directed the Rocketeer, so the character of Captain America itself drew similarities into the Rocketeer role as a noble man trying to make it as a hero. It focuses on the character of Steve Rogers and compares and contrasts with Red Skull. The movie focuses on the World War II aspect and the use of propaganda. But at the time Captain America was first published in the 1930s, he was used as a propaganda tool for the Americans for going to listen to war. So during the film, when Steve Rogers becomes Captain America after taking the serum, you see this montage take place when Steve Rogers grows into the idol part of the hero, the man, like a representation of a soldier in America, and you see him taking part as propaganda, taking part of stage plays to sell bonds or films in America, old-time war films in America, and it has a nice Easter egg, which his first comic of him, which made him famous by punching Hitler, like a show as army force. The Red Skull, they took the Red Skull approach as same as Hitler. He was really commanding and sometimes it can be frightening. But Hugo Weaving takes this role and he does it really well. I'm really fascinated with him, how he took the role. He managed to give some sense of gravitas, like amongst other casts in Marvel films. The score of the film reflects the time of the film, so you see the 1940s type of film and showcases, and it has that military part because of the character of Captain America, which also leads to the inheritance of the Captain America character. He's one of Marvel's oldest heroes, and he's also the oldest heroes in comics. So you see kind of like the character, the cheesiness of the character, but it's not overbearing. And the film is also the stepping stones for other films. For example, Wonder Woman takes cues from Captain America, which her story takes place as she becomes a hero during the time of war. The strengths and weaknesses of the film. The strengths, I say, is the cast, especially Chris Evans and Hugo Weaving. Chris Evans, I was surprised when he took the role, and I was angered at when he took the role, because when I saw Chris Evans before he took Captain America, I saw him as this guy was Johnny Storm, and he was in The Losers and rom-coms, so I didn't really take him seriously as an actor. But when I saw him as Captain America, he played the character as it was supposed to be. He played as a noble man. He's a contrast of Tony Stark, and I liked how he made him honorable, but didn't really take away for a character. For Hugo Weaving, his performance was phenomenal. For a character Red Skull, which could be cheesy, he made him threatening and frightening as a character, as he can be charming, understanding, but see the hints of madness in the character. The supporting cast is really good. Sebastian Stan, the chemistry between Sebastian Stan and Chris Evans is really good. You can see a sense they have sense of friendship between the two characters, and the relationship between Haley and Chris Evans are really good because you can say that the romantic interest can be a throwaway, but I like how they grew from the beginning and to the end until Chris Roger gets frozen. You see how Haley Atwell actually loves for him and cares for him and ultimately loves him, but it was a tragic love story as he's a man who will be frozen, which was set up related to Avengers film, and you see during the film from the beginning, you see like this man is really different. He's not like the other soldiers, and as he grew more and more, especially after the transformation scene, she's really attracted to him, and he kind of messes up himself by kissing another woman, and she kind of like sidetracks like he's just like another guy. But the training montages shows that the character really cares for Peggy, and she does reciprocate for him as well. The score of the film is fantastic, and Silvestri did a hell of a job. It does remind me of the sense of the Indiana Jones scores, which the film took inspiration from, but it had the military aspect as well. In the time, you have the drums, you had the marching band type of theme, and when it plays the Captain America march, Captain America, we did it. It's a strong presence of the character, and I think it should be the theme of the character, but ultimately the next Captain America film they changed composers, but this was a solid composition by Alan Silvestri, which he later did for Avengers, which is the next film to review. The Red Skull's prosthetic is amazing. Imagine if they could have gone the cheap and lazy route and put him in CGI, and Hugo Weaving could have just acted from a green screen or from dots on his face, but making him a prosthetic, he sells you a bit more, and it's a great improvement from the last two Captain America Red Skulls, which look atrocious, and this one was like a sense of terror and threat, and it does remind you of the old times of 1940s, like the Red Skull does represent some kind of fascism and Nazism. In a way, they embrace the character's cheesiness really well, especially when, like, in the montage of when Captain America and his bonds. I like that aspect, and they didn't really overbear you with its cheesiness, which could have gone that route. But they managed to toe a line in between what's cheesy for comedic effect, but what's cheesy, but they didn't take it away from the character or make it overbearing. The weaknesses of the film was a lack of action. You only saw a few action scenes when Captain America tries to save his friend Bucky, and his brief fight with the Red Skull, and you had this training montage, which was really disappointing because you want to see his abilities and how he can fight with people, and it's not that strong enough. And the final act it did feel a bit flat, because I think because of the first two acts were really good and it really built up the character. I think the final act did not measure up that well. It was good, but it kind of was a step down for me as a film, and it did pick up later. When you see Chris and Peggy talking for the last time, the emotional impact actually saved the final act a bit. Overall, this film was a big risk because at the time there was other films like Captain America, which had a war, like the Sky Captain with Jude Law and Angelina Jolie. But Captain America, he's Marvel's Superman, in a way that he's a Boy Scout. He does always like to do the right things. He always looking for the best in people, and it's really hard to solve that character in modern times. And World War II, and this is not like the generation that who grew up or lived under the World War in that manner. It's not like a Saving Private Ryan, which people had like uncles, something like back in those days. So it was really hard to sell a character. Or the actor, like I said, it was a shock surprise. Nobody wanted him as Captain America. Personally, I didn't want him, but when you watch the film, he did it perfectly. And you see him in the later installments of the Avengers and the Captain America films. The film is fantastic overall. It is a good first outing. I actually prefer this film than Iron Man, actually, because like Captain America is like, he's my favorite hero out of the Avengers, and especially in comics, especially how he's represented. Like when Jack Kirby created Captain America, I think he's Jewish, and during the time of World War II, the Iron Race, blonde and blue eyes, it was nice to see. It was a way of saying this guy is blonde and blue eyes, but he fights for us. And when you see Chris Evans playing that role, he embodies that role really well. He has the look, he has the presence, and he can act the way Captain America acts, his nobleness, his humbleness as well. The Red Skull, he's one of the best villains of the MCU, or maybe the best in the MCU. I prefer him more than Loki, because of his sheer presence and power, and he's a good stark contrast of Captain America. Joe Johnston done a fantastic job, and it really laid out a good foundation for a character which you see progress in later films. Well, guys, this is the end of the review. Click like and subscribe, give it a bell ring, comment in the comment section, and share it with your friends. This is Jeremiah. Peace.